Hello everyone, I'm Laura and welcome back to the Laurbrary after our extended break that was not supposed to happen. So for the month of December, I was pretty much sick the whole time, and I had previously filmed this video, but I sounded horrible in it, and I just decided that I would re-record it since I'm feeling better now. I hope y'all all had a really great Christmas and New Year. And I did because this happened. I got engaged. Anyways, just thought I'd tell you all because I'm super excited getting married this year. Anyways, this video is a haul from earlier in December. If you remember, I recorded and uploaded a video, I believe in November, where I had done a giant book haul with a bunch of books, over 30 books from my library's bookstore. Well, they ended up closing their physical bookstore and are just operating online, and so they were having another sale in early December, and I went again, filled up another box for $15. So today I'm just going to show you the books that I got. I only found one nonfiction book that I'm interested in, and that is When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi. This is basically about Paul Kalanithi, who was a neurosurgeon and then was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and this is basically just about his journey going from someone who is treating the sick to being one who is treated, and how that changed his views on life and all that. The next book I found is Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson, and this is about a woman who is in an accident and basically loses her memory, but every night before she goes to sleep, she writes down in her diary what has happened during her day so that she'll know for the next day. And apparently things start getting creepy. There's some weird stuff going on. Next, I found Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan, and this is about a young man who's working in this bookstore, and it's kind of strange because it doesn't seem like many people come in there, but there's tons of books, and strange things start happening. This sounds like a really fun read, and it kind of has fantasy elements to it, so I will be excited to get to this. Next, I found Bel Canto by Ann Patchett. So this is about a group of people who go to a party in an unnamed South American country, and basically while they're there, a bunch of terrorists come in and take the entire party hostage, and stuff happens throughout the night. Next, I picked up White Oleander by Janet Fitch, and this is about a woman named Astrid, or a girl named Astrid, who's the only child of a single mother, Ingrid, and Ingrid goes on to kill her lover when she is scorned. I think she's jealous about something. Anyway, she kills him. Astrid is left alone and is basically sent to foster homes and just has to deal with the consequences of what her mother has done. The next book that I found is Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna, and this is about two sisters who are very different. One has stayed at home to take care of her family, and one has gone out and pursued her dreams. But then their father gets very sick and is dying, and so they both go home to be by his side. Their mother is also there, who neither of them have really ever gotten along with because she's kind of grumpy. But they finally learn why their mother is the way she is because of what she went through in Leningrad throughout the war, and this just sounds really interesting. Sounds kind of like a family story, growing up story, and I love those kind of books. Next, I picked up Atonement by Ian McEwan, and I'm super excited that I found this because I've been wanting to read this for a while. And this is about kind of a family right before World War II, and one day the younger sister, I believe, sees her older sister and a boy doing something they're not supposed to. I'm not really sure. I've heard going into this book, knowing as little as possible is great. but I've heard it's really amazing, and I've heard good things about Ian McEwan's writing. The next book that I picked up is The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. And this is about a girl who is kidnapped and murdered. And basically it's kind of her looking down or looking out from the in-between that she's in and telling about, you know, what happens after she is killed. I found Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty at the sale. I actually read this in 2017 and I loved it. I read 2 of her other books like right after I read this, and I'm currently reading another of hers and hope to read them all. This is kind of a mystery contemporary book. It's really good. The characters are really funny. I really didn't expect to love it as much as I did, but you should definitely pick this up if you want something a little different in a mystery, because it's not like other contemporaries. The characters aren't really annoying. They're actually really funny, and I just love her writing. I found News of the World by Paulette Giles, and I was super excited to find this because I think it just got published in 2017. Now, this is about a man who is hired to take a little girl to her family in South Texas, I believe. She and her family were kidnapped by Native Americans, and her family was killed. So he is taking her back, and they kind of get attached to each other. And by the time they get there, the girl doesn't really want to go to her family because she doesn't actually know this part of her family. So he pretty much has to decide, does he leave her with these people she doesn't know, or does he take her and go on the run, basically as a kidnapper, even though she wants to stay with him. I also picked up Lilac Girls by Martha Hall Kelly, and I don't know much about this, but I know it's about 3 different women during World War II. I think one is a Polish teenager, one is in France, and one is in the US in New York, I believe, something like that. I don't know a lot about this, but female writer, 3 strong female characters. I am really excited to read this. I picked up The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd, and this is about Lily Owens, whose mother was killed, and she's basically adopted by her black stand-in mother, and her stand-in mother insults 3 of the deepest racists in her town, and basically they move away and are taken in by an eccentric trio of black beekeeping sisters. This is also a really short book. I've heard really good things about it, so I will be excited to read this. I picked up Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden, and this is just basically about the geisha culture in Japan. It is a fictional account of that. I don't know too much about this, but I saw it and picked it up, and it just sounds like a really good but sad historical fiction, and I'm excited to read this. The next book, I'm not entirely sure why I picked it up, but I saw it. I got A Great and Terrible Beauty by Laurbrary. A lot of Laurbrary's books just do not sound good to me. I don't really read a lot of YA anymore. This is basically about a girl who's not like other girls. She's, you know, a troublemaker and goes to this school and finds out she has powers. I don't know. I've heard good things about it from some other booktubers who mostly read adult and have read this. So it may be good, it may be bad. If I don't like it, I will just get rid of it. I found Agatha Christie's The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, and I believe this is, I don't remember which series this is a part of, but I really love these published in this like black cover. I don't know a lot about this story. I don't want to. You kind of don't want to know too much when you go into Agatha Christie's. But the cool thing about this book is the inside is really ugly, but I kind of love it. I actually kind of want to pick up more of these just because of the inside. I don't know why. I'm weird. Next, I picked up 3 Anita Diamant books. If you remember, I read The Boston Girl in November and loved it, 5 stars. I also picked up The Red Tent by her, and this is a historical fiction, biblical fiction about Dinah, the daughter of Jacob in the Bible, and just about how women were treated during that time. And I also picked up Good Harbor. It has this stupid big sticker on the front I need to take off, but whatever. So this is about 2 unlikely women that meet and become friends in this harbor town, I believe. I don't know a lot about it, but it sounds pretty good. The next book that I found is The Memory Keeper's Daughter by Kim Edwards, and this is about a doctor who's forced to deliver his twins during a blizzard, and his son comes out born first, and he is perfect, seems perfectly healthy, but then the daughter is born and he can immediately tell that something is wrong with her and that she has Down syndrome. So basically he gives the daughter to his nurse and tells her to get rid of her, you know, take her somewhere else. And instead of doing that, she basically runs off with the daughter and raises her as her own. Next, I found Songs of Willow Frost by Jamie Ford, and this is about a young boy, I believe, who is a Chinese immigrant, or he's a Chinese American boy, and he is orphaned when his mother dies, and is in an orphanage. And one day he is taken to the theater and he sees this woman on stage named Willow Frost, but he is convinced that she is his mother, and so he goes on a journey to find her. The next book I found is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer, and this is about a little boy in New York whose father is killed during the 9/11 attacks, and he ends up finding this key, and he nor his mother know what it goes to, so he basically goes on this journey through New York trying to figure out what this key goes to. And I've just heard really good things about it, and it sounds like it'll be really a really fun but heartbreaking read. Next, I picked up Nosferatu, or NOS4A2 by Joe Hill. I read this earlier in 2017 and really loved it. Basically, it's a book about another dimension and this creepy old vampiric dude who kidnaps children, and it's hard to explain, but it is really good. I listened to the audiobook and I am just excited to have found this in really good condition. Next, I picked up Homer and Langley by E.L. Doctorow, and this is a book about 2 brothers who were in the Great War, and something happened to both of them, and now they're basically hermits living in their mansion and basically just scavenging. And I don't really know that much about E.L. Doctorow's writing. I heard about him on a podcast, but it sounds like it might be interesting. Next, I picked up The Traitor Baru Cormorant by Seth Dickinson, and this is a fantasy. And this is about a girl named Baru Cormorant who basically rules this land, and I don't know too much about it, but the cover's really cool and I have heard good things about it on BookTube, so I will be excited to read this. And the last book that I picked up is Room by Emma Donoghue, and if you don't know about this book, it is about a woman and her son who are basically kept as prisoners by this man in a room for years before they are saved, and is told through the boy's perspective, I believe. I've heard great things about this book, that the writing is amazing and that it's heartbreaking, and I am excited to read this eventually. So those are all the books that I picked up at that book sale. I'm excited to read a lot of these. I found a lot that I'd been looking forward to reading. It was exciting to pick up so many for only $15 in a whole box. Like I said earlier, I hope you all had a great time during the holidays and a great new year. I am excited to be back in filming and feeling better, so hopefully I will have several videos up soon because I'm hoping to record a bunch. I hope you all have a great rest of your day and week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.